Stop shooting to impress other photographers. I see a comment the other day under another photographer's pictures. They were doing like before and after, you know, those popular reels on TikTok and Instagram. And I was just going through the comments, and I was just seeing comments from a lot of people talking about they didn't like the hard light. They didn't like the fact that the raw files didn't look like what the finished product looked like. They didn't like that the raw files were dark. They didn't like the soft light. They didn't like the color of the backdrop and all these different stuff. And I'm like, I don't think this photographer is shooting to impress y'all. This person does commercial photography with big brands like Target and Apple and all those different stuff. And for you to be sitting here and try to critique all their work and have all these negative comments underneath about how you don't like the style of their shooting, it's like, why are you even here? Why are you in the comment section? Why are we pressed about how a photographer lights their stuff, how a photographer shoots their stuff, why the photographer did something like that? It's just like, it's just dumb. Imagine if Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci were to sit here and be pressed about what other artists thought about their work. It wouldn't hold the same merit, and it wouldn't hold the same significance, because, you know, these guys would have basically changed all their work based off the opinions of other artists. And it just necessarily has never sat right with me when I see all these different comments from photographers basically trying to critique and tell someone else what and how someone should interpret their own art, you know? Stop telling people how to interpret their own art. Stop telling people how to interpret their work. Let people do what they do. Everybody has their own style for a reason. If you are a person who just doesn't like a specific style, then, you know, you can shoot like that and basically invent your own style. Stop shooting to impress other photographers. It's okay to take, you know, a little bit of information from those who you respect and things like that, and those who you look up to, and obviously people who may be a little bit more educated. But if you sit here and you're basically like taking photos all the time to impress another photographer, I don't think it's really gonna matter. I think I used to kind of be like that, and I'm at the space. Obviously, I run a business fully. I'm shooting with brands, agencies, I'm shooting with restaurants, where these guys, their thoughts matter to me more than another photographer on the internet. Unless you're selling to that community, does it really matter? Unless you're trying to be on some heavy educational tip, and the way you make money is off of other photographers, I don't think it necessarily matters what the opinions of many photographers are on your art. The consumers are the ones who are really buying the products based off of the pictures that you took, not the other photographers. I see a lot of photographers be like, oh, I don't like this lighting setup. I don't like that the light is hard. I don't like the light is soft. I don't like the angle from the light. I don't like this. I don't like that. Who cares what you think? Stop shooting to impress other photographers. It doesn't matter. Do your art. You know what I'm saying? Do what feels good to you. There's so many different type of lighting setups. There's so many different type of lighting techniques. The goal is for you to understand the basics and then take that and then do what you need to do with it so that you can develop your own style. That's what really matters. It doesn't matter what another photographer thinks about how you shoot, why you shot this way, why you did the lighting this way. The reason why there's so many different photographers who are able to work with different clients and they're making money as well is because they have their own unique style. If all of us shot the exact same way, there wouldn't be needs for as many photographers as there are. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like the moody stuff. Some people like the moody stuff. Some people don't like the bright and airy stuff. Some people don't like the color backdrop stuff that I do. I guarantee you there's some clients who will never hire me because they don't like that style. There's some clients who want all their food to be shot in natural light, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? So the goal is not to shoot to impress another photographer. The goal is to basically get a client, a consumer to look into to look at your work and be like, oh, okay, this made me feel like I want to buy this, or this resonates with me, or that I appreciate this piece of art. But to be sitting here and getting worked up and bent out of shape because you want to impress another photographer, come on, guys, come on, stop. That's like my biggest pet peeve. Stop shooting to impress other photographers. Like, who cares what another photographer thinks? Unless they're your mentor for real, doesn't matter. If it's someone you could respect, you could take tidbits from them, you could take advice from them on how to improve. I see comments under people's pictures and they're just like, oh, if your raw files look like this, that means you're not a good photographer if you had to go into Photoshop and do all that editing. And I'm just like, it's always one, huh? You know, it's just like, who cares what you think? If the client likes the final product, that's all that matters. It's like the same thing when it came down, like, cause I'm a producer as well, right? And one of the biggest, most annoying arguments in the producer world is the aspect of using loops and using samples. And my thing is, right, the artists and the consumers who like the music, for the most part, if you in the club and you hear a fire record, are you stopping to think like, oh man, did this producer use a loop? You don't care. The only person who actually cares about that is another producer. You got producers talking about another producer is not a real producer because they used a loop or they used a sample. And it's just like, you're saying that? How many placements have you gotten? You know what I'm saying? If this person's getting placements out the wazoo, they getting club bangers, they getting hits, all those different stuff. Does it matter? Like, it doesn't. If the artist and the consumer thinks that it sounds good, then that's what matters. It's the same thing with photography. Like, who cares what another photographer thinks? If you're like, oh yeah, well, this photographer used cheap lighting to get this shot, so it doesn't necessarily count. It doesn't matter. If a photographer can use a $60 light and make it look like an $1,000 light, it doesn't matter. Then the person who's more valid is the person who could take a $60 light and make it look like an $1,000 light. That's what matters. But anyways, guys, sorry for my rant. Again, stop shooting to impress other photographers, guys. All right, that's it. That's all I got to say. It's lit. It's your boy Kyron John. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Destroy that subscribe button. Destroy that like button. If you like this video, continue to share. I appreciate some of the views that I've been getting in the comments and stuff like that. We're going to embrace that, and I'm going to record a lot more videos and just create more content. So stay tuned for more. I'm going to get into the next video, and that next video is going to be about lighting product drinks. All right? Have a good day, guys.